Welcome once again. This is July 15th, 2021, and I am your host, Dominic Raphael. Or you could just call me Dr. DR. To some degree, we are all doctors in our own minds because we experiment, we challenge, we learn, we follow our instincts. We have a curiosity in us that is hard to stop at any time. This is part of being human, in my opinion. But what I want to discuss today is the human condition. If you're going to look at it from a whole perspective, you're looking at one whole human being, male, female. But what defines us? We have multicultures, multi-religions, we have multi-conceptions of what life should be like. We can be, for this subject, the best word to use would be colonialism. We can colonialize our society. We can embrace our wild nature. We are capable of so many conditions. And this is probably why there's such a confusion in the human psyche. But up in Canada, this is episode 8, and heartfelt, I would like to discuss my insight into the residential schools and what took place several years, decades, even 100 years ago. It was genocide, no question. Colonialism, yes. But who is willing to move forward? What will it take to reconcile the misdeeds and mistakes of a society? You know, money is usually the first thing that people think about when they want compensation for being mistreated or being colonized. Monetary systems are obviously devastating over many generations, and you can't help but think, as myself anyways, what did my ancestry do to cause such a catastrophe, and how close to the family was involved in that rather dark time. Well, for starters, I recently found out that my grandparents, my mom's father and mother, were both employed by the residential school system. I found out that my grandfather was a custodian, and my grandmother was a seamstress. So I am going to assume they were hired by the residential school to take out the tasks appointed to them. One being my grandmother and sewing indigenous uniforms, and 2, my grandfather being a custodian to haul out the tasks appointed to him. And I haven't done any research on this. I'm taking it from a gut instinct, and I can't say that I personally know my grandfather. He was a very quiet man. And my grandmother was French through and through. As for my grandfather, I don't know. He may have had a name given to him at the time of colonialism, but was he actually French? So, with all of this new information coming into light, it really has exposed a lot of unanswered questions. But as a spiritual being, I do know, feel, and trust in my instincts, my insights, and to some degree, I do believe that generations after generations passed down generations and generations of past tasks. There's an instinctual feeling because I believe that the mind is a computer, a supercomputer, if you will. And it records everything that it downloads, all the data that you experience. And through DNA, that data has to transfer from one being to another. I mean, it happens in nature all the time. So, what's my point? Really, my point is, this is a discussion that is going to take a long time. And as it's been said by media outlets and other officials on both sides, this is just the beginning. So I guess all I can say is prepare for the worst knowledge of our past and hope for a better future. So for now, this is Up in Canada, and I am Dominic Raphael, or for short, just call me Doctor. Dr. Insight, if you wish. Don't know when this one will be posted, but I want to leave you with a little music, and this is from my album Waterboy Bliss. no one around, fast asleep as the day goes by. Work for night shift, it will tell you why. It's oatmeal again, yeah, on my way. Oh, when one that ever met, ooh, on the night shift. Ooh, it's a night shift. It's oatmeal again. Oatmeal again. Traffic ties up in the morning rush, and my day ends in a bowl of mush. Cheers.